Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's 10 to 14 day video update. We're going to have a look at weather for the next 10 to 14 days for this video. Day 10 will take us to the 2nd of December, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They are running to around a couple of weeks. Have got CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that gets us into the second half of December. I'll get on that view in a moment. Just to say that we have released a channel member exclusive, so the ECMWF 42 day exclusively for channel members has been released today. So check that one out if you'd like to do that. Thank you so much for doing that. If you are a channel member, of course. If you want to become a channel member, by the way, just click the join button. And that's how you can do that. Now, why am I on camera? Eyes are a bit sore, so I would normally be off camera. My eyes are like this. But we did an absolutely amazing and epic live stream on Wednesday. And we had like nearly £300 in donations. It was unbelievable. Absolutely incredible live stream. At the end of that, I would normally do a roll call. Thanks so much for your questions. And, you know, do a roll call of everyone who's donated through the stream. Unfortunately, Streamlabs was not logging the, all the people, well, didn't log any, actually, of the super chats that we had. I don't know what happened with Streamlabs, why it went wrong, but like it just wasn't logging anything. So, in lieu of that, I said I would do a roll call at the start of 10 to 14 day. I didn't have time yesterday, so I was very rushed, so I'm doing it today. So, I want to say thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to Lauren Hutchinson twice. And hello, Lauren. Hello, and thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to Nay Smith. Thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to Jake March Jones. Thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to Sam Parker. Thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to B times 2. Thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to Raymondo, Ray Level. And of course, thank you so much for your kindness and generosity and amazing super chat to Celestial, the wonderful Celestial SB. Thank you so much, SB, for that. And incredible donation again from Sync Sprint as well. So hello, thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to you, Sync Sprint. And thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to our good friend Brian Mack. Thank you so much, Brian. I have got your email. I love those photos that you sent me, and I will be replying to that. But I want to give it like a proper reply, not just like a couple of lines. So, you know, when I've got a bit of time, I'll reply to your email. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to Michael Cowling. Thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to Kieran Bush. Now, Kieran donated £100 in the super chat and also gave 20 channel membership gifts. So, altogether, Kieran probably donated about £200 to GavsWeatherVids and to myself in that live stream. It's unbelievable. Thank you so much, Kieran. I was absolutely flabbergasted and blown away. Thank you so much, my friend. And we also had a donation during the stream from Jonathan Milner via PayPal. So thank you so much, Jonathan. That was unbelievable as well. Thank you so much, my friend. Absolutely incredible live stream. And just to show that the GavsWeatherVids community is still there. I haven't done like many public live streams at all this year. You can probably count the number that I've done, well, probably on 1.5 hands, something like that. There hasn't been that many at all this year. Public live streams, I've done quite a few for channel members, but for public live streams, haven't done that many. And I was wondering, you know, whether everybody just checked out, you know, and found other channels to go to. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this since 2012 and live streaming since 2019. And like, I was just wondering, well, maybe everybody's just moved on, you know, and found other places to go to. And I would understand that if they did, you know, because there are so many amazing channels that have sprung up. When I started, it was just really me. One, two other Simon Keeling was on YouTube then. But really, there wasn't much. And like since then, loads and loads of amazing channels have sprung up. Very, very talented, particularly young forecasters and presenters. And so I wouldn't wouldn't blame anybody if they did sort of just decide, well, we're going to move on and go elsewhere for our information and our data and our weather. But that actually sort of reaffirmed to me that everybody is still there. And it wasn't necessarily from Super Chats. Super Chats are lovely and very, very kind, but it was like the amount of concurrence we had, just like the general interest, all of the comments, like it was so busy with live chat, but we didn't have one trying to comment. There wasn't one had to be removed. We had nearly 300 concurrent viewers on that live stream, which is, so that's very, very rare that you got 300 concurrent. Must be trending a bit through YouTube search, and still, nevertheless, all of the comments were absolutely amazing and absolutely lovely, and that's reaffirmed to me, you know, but the community is still there. You still want me to carry on doing this, and so, you know, I will carry on. If people want me to carry on, then I'm going to carry on, you know. So that's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for a wonderful live stream. Thank you so much for all of those amazing super chats. Blown away and unbelievable. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, okay, so I'm going to be disappearing now, as my eyes are quite sore, and we're going to crack on with 10 to 14 days. So we're going to start off with the latest wind blow map from earthandoilschool.net, showing that changes are taking place. Low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, switching the wind around to a west-southwesterly, and so we've lost those cold, frosty conditions that we have a couple of days ago. Central England temperature is now sitting at 9.4, which is still 3 degrees above 61 to 1990 average, and that's provisional to the 21st of November, to yesterday there. These were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at Birmingham today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature actual Birmingham. Starting off around average at the moment. We're going to see the upper air temperature coming down as we go through the next few days. Not going to be as cold as it has been, but, you know, quite chilly end of the weekend into the early part of next week. Then the upper air temperatures lift up, though, and like the very last days of November and the first week of December are actually looking really quite mild there. A bit zonal as well, a bit up and down, but generally looking mild or very mild then. Precipitation-wise, more showers, longer spells of rain to come this weekend. Drier through the early part of next week, and then the wet weather picks back up again around the turn of the month. Temperature anomalies for the next 5 days to be 27th of November are below average, but the 8 to 12 day is going above average to the 4th of December, telling us there is a change to milder conditions on the way. Precipitation anomalies for the next 7 days, driving average in the north, far south, western average in between 8 to 14 day average, so a little bit on the driving average side. Right, let's start going for chart data then. Latest UK Met Euro run shows low pressure clearing away on Tuesday, leaving us in a run of chilly and quite cold northerly winds, not as cold as currently. And then in the second half of next week, much milder southwesterlies start pushing in, and those southwesterlies will bring outbreaks of rain and a milder feel, perhaps back to something a bit cooler by the 29th of December there. Icon is looking like this, so again, low pressure is clearing away to the east on Tuesday, but by Wednesday we're into mild southwesterly winds, and then the rest of next week and into the last weekend of November looking at Atlantic-driven westerly winds and whatnot. Okay, well the KMA looks like this. Again, southwesterly, westerly winds driving in low pressure off the Atlantic. Second half next week, generally mild, and then we're going into a long fetch southwesterly blimey to start December. That'll be a very mild start to December, but with low pressure out to the west will bring out rates of rain, but certainly December starting on a really mild note there. Well, let's have a look at the two GFS runs then, starting with the midnight run. Again, low pressure clears away to the east for the early part of next week. Not I see a chilly run of north winds. Not long before those mild west southwesterlies are back though, so turning much milder, wetter and windier into the last weekend of November. Oh, that was a bit of a tease, wasn't it? How was it going to end up? Let's have a look though. So mild west southwest winds continuing up to day 10. Beyond day 10, high pressure begins to build and starts head up towards Scandinavia. So a bit of Scandi getting going there, becoming blocked and colder then by the end of the first week of December. That gets to the 8th of December, wall of high pressure setting up through northern and western Europe, connected back to Scandinavian and possibly the Siberian high. That hints at colder easterly winds. Well, the GFS 6 there by comparison is looking like this. So again, southwesterly winds bringing a lot of mild weather with them through the second half of next week and into the last weekend of December as well. Bit of a hint to try and raise heights around Greenland there around day 9, 10. Not really coming too much. The southwesterlies just go on. This is a long fetch southwest. You should follow the isobars back, like the areas originating, certainly from the Azores, maybe south of back from the Canary Islands. So that's going to be really mild for like the opening days of December. However, the upshot that is to start building some higher pressure through Western Europe, but not a Scandi particularly. So, just turning drier through the first week of December and very mild with that, probably a lot of anticyclonic gloom. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. And drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get to subscribe to. Thanks so much for doing that. As well as all of those donations and having 300 concurrent viewers and having an epic live stream and having not having to remove a single comment, despite having nearly 300 concurrent viewers on that stream, which is extraordinarily unusual. I've never known that, really, in all the years that I've been doing this. So as well as all of that, we also hit 20.7k. So we've reached our first 100, or our latest 100, been 20k. We're pushing on to 20.8k now. So thank you so much, everyone. Right, so low pressure with a GM clearing away to the east. Don't forget to your friends, your family, your neighbour, your doctor, your vicar, your colleagues, your co-workers, your customers, and your mother-in-law, if you dare, to subscribe. Thanks so much, everyone, for doing that. Is that the giddy one? Listen to the giddy one. Anyway, GM, low pressure clearing away to the east. High pressure is out to the west, bringing outbreaks of rain in from the Atlantic. So looking very unsettled through the closing days of November. And then up to day 10, well, the westerlies just keep on coming, so that gets 2nd of December. Not as mild as like the GFS is showing, not pumping the air up from the Azores, probably near normal temperatures, just like on the milder side, but more unsettled with deep low pressure, probably bringing heavy rain and maybe hinting at some winter gales there by day 10. And then the ECM rounding it all off, low pressure clearing away to the east, introducing a chillier northerly wind early next week. Then we go into those mild west-southwesterlies. End of next week looking wet and windy. Let's move on up to day 10. Now, low pressure coming stuck over the country. Coolish and very unsettled really there with the ECM up to day 10. Try to pull up those long fetch southwesterly winds, and indeed we do so. So very mild through the first week of December there, with a long fetch southwesterly, and the air coming up from the Azores or the Canary Islands with that one. This is a precipitation forecast, and by the way, that gets us to the 7th of December. This is the precipitation forecast based on the ECM run from Tepeta.com. So plenty of wet weather to come. Cold up some wintry conditions at times over high ground in the north, Pennines, Welsh Mountains, Scottish Mountains, Southern Uplands, etc. Otherwise, quite a bit of cold rain over the next few days. And into the last stages of next week, like the turn of the month, well, another deluge there for England and Wales, looking very wet, some hailstone mixed in with that. And of course, it's just after day 10, but we then start to pull up those long fetch southwesterlies. Still quite sore with the ribs. These are the up top table within the ECM ensembles today. For day 10 from the Icelandic Metaphysics gets us to the 2nd of December. 15 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, bringing plenty of unsettled weather with it. 14, again, low pressure heads in from the Atlantic, looking very unsettled. 9, taking low pressure away to the east, again, very unsettled, a little bit cooler, probably with those, more of a northwesterly. 8 with high pressure just to the south, drawing up along that southwesterly. And then 5 with low pressure in from the Atlantic. And again, that one looks unsettled but mild, with winds in from a southerly or a southwesterly direction. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options. So all options really looking unsettled at day 10. 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 7th of December. 17 members of the ECM ensembles driving low pressure in from the Atlantic, along with southwesterly winds. Looks very mild. We've got 11 with higher pressure trying to build to the east. Low pressure out to the west. So turning a bit drier, but going to be mild with that, I would have thought. We've got 10 with high pressure right over top of the country. That's rather different. That's built up from the south, I think, so it's going to be mild with that, but, like, could be inversion, frost and fog. 7 taking the high pressure even further northwards towards Scandinavia, trying to bring the wind around to an easterly. That's like the GFS midnight run, I guess. And then 6 with a ridge from the Azores up to Scandinavia. So it looks like unsettled, low pressure dominated at day 10. 2 weeks out, probably more of an anticyclonic influence, but still, I think, most likely to be mild at that point. Where the anticyclone goes beyond that, of course, remains to be seen. Remember, it's always been the case, well, not always been the case, but, like, I think the general idea has been, like, December likely to begin mild, particularly through the first week, and the more interesting stuff happens later on, probably from mid-month onwards, maybe coinciding with Christmas. Though, you know, those of you that are a little bit disappointed and despondent, where's the cold December gone? Well, like, the first week, probably the first 10 days, but particularly the first week, always looked like it was shaping up to be mild. And the colder stuff, you know, probably most likely to be later on. But that's not to say it will turn cold later on, but, you know, that was the idea that was at play, I think, within a lot of the models anyway. Right, CFS V2 finally beats a 500 millibar high tide. Let's break down week periods. The first week period takes from the 22nd, 28th of November. And remember, as I always say, off on a tangent really, but remember, as I always say, like any cold weather before Christmas, really, you're doing well. You know, I never expect, and I'm nearly 50, I've seen a lot of winters. I never really expect much in the way of cold weather before Christmas and New Year. You know, it's January, particularly January, also February sometimes, where I tend to expect the colder weather. So, like, the fact that we've had quite a potent cold snap through November, we're doing pretty well already. So, let's see where things go. Anyway, let's get the video rounded up. So, week 1, 500 millibar height anomaly, from the 22nd, 28th of November, low pressure east, high pressure out to the west, so starting to introduce milder winds in from the Atlantic. Week 2, which is going to be the 29th of November to 5th of December, looking mild, low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south. That's a classic scenario that brings in those winds from the west and from the southwest. Week 3 will be the 6th to the 12th of December, low pressure to the west, high pressure to the east, and up comes those southwest winds, so still looking mild there. And then week 4 rounds it all off, a little bit more interesting, 13th to the 19th of December. So it's still mild, low pressure out to the west, bringing up that southwesterly flow, but heights really building away to the north. Lots of northern blocking getting going there within high latitudes that will at this point be pushing very cold air down into eastern and southeastern Europe. But if this low and the energy can start going, so let's get rid of all those lines, if this low and the energy there can start going in that direction, down towards Biscay, Spain, Portugal, and the mare got to lower those heights around Italy, of course. But if low go in that direction with that level of northern blocking, there's no reason why we won't turn the wind around to the east and to the northeast. So again, it really is a second half of December, and maybe Christmas that things could start getting a bit more interesting. But as ever, we shall see, and time will tell. So, if you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you're open forward to it. Matt, drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all our videos and content. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get subscribed to. Make sure you're open for doing that. Tomorrow, I've got your 9th Winter 2025-26 update. It's going to be another epic. So, I'll be getting started on that when I get home from Watford Gap tonight. You have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. And for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.